I'm Cody Clark, and this is your Daily Herald Movie Roundup. There's about a 007th of a second to take a breath at the beginning of Quantum of Solace, the 22nd canonical James Bond movie, before the camera hurtles you into a high-speed car chase. It's bracing to get right to the point, but also a little irritating to not know what, precisely, the point is. Bond is at the wheel, and bad guys are on his tail, but there's not a word spoken or a visual cue given until the fade to opening credits punchline, which will jog your memory and finally dispense a blip of orientation. By the way, that opening credits thing is about 00700 times beyond played out. Does anyone even remember the last time that it was stirring or sexy or anything other than faintly embarrassing to watch kaleidoscopic montages of the shadowy silhouettes of naked women set to forgettable pop songs? Trick question. It's never been stirring or sexy. Where was I? Ah, yes, I'm a little irritated. Relax, it gets better. Quantum, it turns out, is the name of the shadowy organization that puppet-mastered rogue financier Le Chiffre in Casino Royale, and more importantly, was directly involved in Bond's being betrayed by Treasury agent and partner in espionage Vesper Lynd, who then went to a watery doom before a heartbroken Bond could even inquire about her motives. This time around, Quantum has its strings attached to Dominic Green, played by Matthew Amalric, a benign-seeming eco-capitalist with secret designs of becoming a 21st century global robber baron. With the Quantum connection already against him, Green gets further into our hero's bad graces by toying with the life of a former Bolivian intelligence agent, played by Ukrainian model Olga Kurylenko, whose pretty face and steely demeanor light a tiny fire in Bond's cold heart.
You lost somebody?
I did.
You catch whoever did it?
No. Not yet.
Tell me when you do. I'd like to know how it feels.
Quantum of Solace carries on some of the storylines of Casino Royale, but doesn't really measure up to it. Daniel Craig's first crack at the character remains a James Bond revolution, a barrel of fresh tweaks that purrs like the engine of 007's trademark Aston Martin. There's probably no reviving the emotional intensity of Bond's brief connection to Vesper, and there's certainly no replacing Eva Green, whose coolly intelligent performance is without peer in the annals of Bond girldom. Kurylenko does fine. She's light years ahead of the likes of Terry Hatcher, and though Craig's competing against himself now, rather than the painfully lingering memory of Pierce Brosnan, his approach to the character is still energizing. The film's screenplay was reportedly completed in a rush immediately prior to the recent writer's strike and has its rough patches. Thankfully, it takes more than muddy exposition to stop James Bond, and you'd probably need a speeding 18-wheeler to make a dent in Daniel Craig. If there's any justice, he can have the role for as long as he wants it. In terms of new releases, Bond has the box office all to himself this weekend. Check back next Friday to find out whether Stephenie Meyer's bookstore blockbuster is just as good when you don't have to read the words and imagine the pictures. That's right, we're about to enter the Twilight Zone.